So in high school, I was known to be a chill, nice, happy gal, but I was actually really hurting inside, and I think that is the case for a lot of people. I was facing a lot of anger and a lot of just fear, just being at home, like living in a pretty like traumatic household, and I just only learned that I needed to feel happy and strong all the time. It was stronger to go through it, but that's just such a false narrative. That's further from the truth if you ask me now. And also I kept seeing this chart, this emotional vibration chart. Emotions such as enlightenment and joy are the most high vibrational states of being, whereas emotions like anger and shame are something that is the lowest. And so that put even more pressure on me to feel really, really good and ignore all of my negative emotions. But we need to stop ignoring our emotions now. This is not how this chart is supposed to inform us. And I think that's what we get wrong whenever we're trying to manifest, whenever we're trying to live our life the best that we can be. So after earning a degree in psychology, I didn't even know how to process my emotions still. It took me a long time. It took me 6 years in therapy to really understand this one thing, which is equanimity. Equanimity, you can call it emotional agility, equanimity, acceptance. It's also like ACT, but I really think of it as equanimity. I've never done this before on my channel, but I've also created a downloadable PDF guide for you to journal what you learned from this video, what you can actually do to practice emotional agility or equanimity in your day-to-day life. And it'll be linked down below. Don't worry, there's no funnel, I promise. This is just free. Just something for you to use and put in your little digital garden so you can look back on it and reinforce this skill. So I'm going to read you a short passage of what equanimity is. And this is from the book, A Queer Dharma. I love this book so much. If you have not read it, I really recommend it if you're really into meditation, into yoga. And Jacobi defines equanimity as a warm acceptance of reality as it is, rather than how we might like it to be, rather than aversion, indifference, or attachment. So offering equanimity to others is a gentle acceptance that someone else's freedom is up to them, beyond my control. And I love this mindset. I love the Vedic philosophy of equanimity, because I think we are a culture that we want control all the time. Now even control of our emotions. We are a culture where we put emotions on a hierarchy. For some reason, we're a big fan of hierarchy. It's so funny. But what if our emotions are at the same level? Maybe yes, maybe some emotions are lower frequencies than other, like vibrationally. But that doesn't mean that it takes away from the dignity of that emotion. We should put the amount of dignity we put in anger as we put in joy. So parts of equanimity that I find really helpful is stepping back versus reacting. And this goes to the second step, which is using your feelings as a guide rather than for the emotions to take over. And it's so easy for emotions to take over. Oof, especially if you're a teenager, because that's just like a whole other level, and it'll definitely take practice. But I really love my anger and my shame sometimes, because they teach me so much about my triggers, and there are parts of me that maybe were shamed in the past, and now it's an opportunity for me to take care of them after so many years of them trying to cry for help. Sometimes you do have triggers whenever you go through really tough times, and that's okay. We're human. We have biases, we have prejudice, and it just takes only a couple of seconds to really notice that. I know I talked about equanimity, acceptance, maybe even compassion, but also if you were someone who was taught to be nice all the time, especially for women and girls, you also need to learn how to be assertive. You need to know how to assert your boundaries. And we're not taught this as little girls, as socialized as a gender where we give to other people and don't expect anything back, or where our boundaries are certainly crossed, or taught that we never have to have boundaries, because that's just, that's just too aggressive. But I learned that we need to have boundaries in order to protect ourselves, in order to protect other people as well, because we don't want to hurt people, right? But also it's self-sustaining. It's maintaining your integrity, right? And how to maintain your integrity is having boundaries to protect yourself. And this could look like communicating effectively, right? Communicating that you're not feeling well and you'll check it back on that person later. And if they don't understand that, then it's because they were trained for you to always be there for them, right? And so, of course, you're going to have experienced emotions like frustration and annoyance and shame or guilt because your body is trying to tell you something. So I know this is a little short video about putting things on a hierarchy and what we can do instead. And I'm not saying that this chart is wrong. I actually love this chart. I refer to this chart whenever I feel just to have a reminder of the emotions that I do want to feel, but that doesn't negate the fact that those other emotions like fear and guilt are not as important. So the next time you feel those things, give your body and your mind the space it needs to process it. It's truly informing you. It's an opportunity to heal a lot of maybe memories or traumas that still live in your body. And if you're interested, I have a meditation that you can follow to really integrate like what's happening in your body right now. And it will be linked right here. Hope you have a beautiful day, night, or evening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.